The first step in figuring out how to purchase a business is figuring out the structure of how we want to purchase it. There's a bunch of different ways that you can structure the transaction. There's mergers, there's an outright asset purchase, or you can buy the stock of the company that you're acquiring. I will talk with my clients about what their goals are and what risks are out there to determine the proper structure for purchasing that business. Sometimes clients will come to me and they've already agreed on the purchase price and they're looking for help negotiating the rest of the details. But sometimes I will help figure out that purchase price, and there's a number of different ways to determine that purchase price. For example, one of the ways is to just value the assets and subtract the liabilities, and that's what your purchase price would be. Another way to value it is to look at the free cash flow of the business, and then there's a certain multiplier depending on the type of industry that can help determine that purchase price. But it all boils down to what the buyer's willing to pay and what the seller's willing to accept. So when we meet with clients to talk about their transactions for either buying or selling their business, they a lot of times just have the purchase price decided or negotiated, and they have a lot of questions and don't exactly know what to look for or what to even ask about. So when those sorts of clients come in, we do act in a consulting role with them and talk to them about their different options, the different drawbacks, different advantages of the ways to structure the transaction. And a lot of times we're actively involved in the negotiation and sale of that business. So there are a number of adjustments to the purchase price that can be negotiated into the particular purchase agreement. And sometimes these adjustments can be fairly substantial. For example, inventory is significant. Inventory can decrease quite a bit from the date the purchase agreement is signed until the date of closing. Another issue that comes up is the rent that's being paid. A lot of times rent is prepaid for a particular month or for a particular year, and so those payments will need to be prorated to the day of closing to adjust the purchase price to what's fair or what's been negotiated between the parties. There can be a significant problem if this hasn't been addressed in the purchase agreement, because you can get to the day before closing and this issue comes up and the parties risk not being able to close the next day due to a dispute on how to make these prorations. Therefore, it's really important to get these provisions negotiated into the original purchase agreement so you don't jeopardize closing.